So February is sort of over, and I just realized that this month has been really productive video posting wise. Somehow, sort of, it worked. And TV show watching wise, and movie catching up wise, and just reading wise, because I read 7 books, I think, which is the most I've read in a long time. So, oh my god, yeah, it's been exciting. It's been alright, right? So if you want to see my thoughts more in depth on some of these books, I'm gonna link some of my written reviews down below, because I've been writing some of those. Right, let's get into the books. So first of all, I'm gonna start with the ebooks that I read this month, because y'all know I love my ebooks. Right, so the first ebook I read was Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck, and didn't quite like this one. It's about these 2 guys, and one of them has some sort of mental disorder, and it's just it's terrible. Honestly, I mean, I appreciated the fact that the writer was trying to deal with a serious issue that wasn't really talked about, especially at his time. But man, just the writing and the characters and the action was so like, wow. I love it. I know that so many people love this book, but I honestly hated it so much, and it was just such a struggle. Just no. Second ebook I read was A Brief History of Time by Stephen Hawking, and I love this one. I'm a nerd. Like, honestly, I love physics. It was so satisfying for the science nerd inside me, and just some of the terms were harder to get into, but I was familiar with most of the notions, so I could wrap my mind around most of the book, and it was so great. And so, oh my god, I love science, and I think I gave it like 3 or 4 stars. I think I gave it like 4 stars out of 5 on Goodreads. And Stephen Hawking had this like tiny, witty, funny comments every now and then, and it was just so much fun. And the third ebook I read was another classic. I read Dante's Inferno a long time ago. I required the entire Divine Comedy, but they didn't have it at my local library, so I just got Inferno, and I was like, I'll just get the other 2 at some point. Didn't really love Inferno, but for some reason, I just decided to pick up Purgatory the past few days. It was horrible. I think I gave it like 2 stars. It's just, oh my god, I didn't like it. I'm not sure if I'm just against Dante's writing style, which is like, or the action. I am really bugged that he just introduces so many names, and he doesn't really go into the story of those people, but like, you need to read all those annotations, because I think there's like as many annotations as there are like actual things in the book. Is just, oh my god, I hated it, and just, no, I might be possessed by some demon and read, I don't even know what the last one is called, Jesus, Paradise. I might read Paradise at some point if I'm possessed by some odd Dante demon, but just no, probably not. Right, so into the more exciting physical books with pretty covers that I read and that I loved, and just, such a satisfying reading month. So right, in no particular order, the first book is Grace's Guide, The Art of Pretending to Be a Grown-Up by Grace Helbig. And if you don't know Grace, she's a YouTube celebrity person, and just one of my ultimate favorite human beings on this planet, or any other planet, or just any being, really. I'm gonna link her channel down below. She's so fantastic and hilarious, and just, I have a really, really weird and messed up sense of humor, and she always makes me laugh. And just the premise of this book sounded so interesting, like non-fiction. I should just give this a try. And it was everything I wanted it to be, and just more, because it was so funny, but it was so, I don't know, life-altering. It actually had like real life lessons and stuff, which I wasn't really expecting. I was like, she's just gonna make fun of life, and I'm gonna have a laugh, and that's gonna be it. But it's actually so great. It's everything I want. It's just really so beautifully made, which I like always notice with nonfiction, because it has just so many photos and I don't know, pretty things. It has interactive pages, like you just worksheets, and it's just so great. And yeah, I gave this 5 out of 5 stars in case that wasn't obvious. I also read one of my most anticipated books of this year, and it's I Was Here by Gail Foreman. And this is basically the story of a girl whose best friend committed suicide, and now she's just trying to find out what's been going on with her friend and why nobody really expected this to happen. And it's just so great. And I really picked this up because of the summary and because just Gail Foreman is so brilliant, and just I made the mistake of having really high expectations from this, and then I heard some people didn't really like it, and I'm like, oh, I'm scared. But yeah, when I read it, I just devoured it, and it's one of those books that I might have just stayed up until like 1 a.m. to finish and read my review on because it's so great. It's one of my favorite books of all time. I think it's safe to say that, and I honestly loved it so much. The romance was a bit but just the characters and the story, and I love everything about this. Honestly, just pick it up, please. Another book that I made a mistake of having really high expectations from that I picked this month was The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Eva Lavender, but by Leslie Walton. In this, oh my god, I think everybody knows about this because a lot of people just raved about it. It was a lot of people's favorite from last year. Ryan from Paris Project especially talks a lot about this book, and it's about a girl that has wings, and it's magical realism, and we learn about this girl, but it's also, at first, it's an introduction to her world, like how her family is and how they're all rather peculiar, and then she comes along and she's really weird because she has wings, and it's just, the story is so wonderful, and the book is so beautiful, and the characters are so wonderful, and the writing style just killed me, and I honestly think this is one of those life-altering books that just stay with you forever, and I might have stayed up until 1 a.m. or so to finish this one as well. I do that a lot, okay? I do that a lot, but it was worth it, honestly, just pick it up. Then at some point this month, I was just like browsing my shelf of really few books that I have here with me because I still haven't got my books back from Romania, and I was like, what can I read? And then I remember that when I went to that Lockhart book signing, the people at Eason's gave us some goodie bags with some books in them, so I picked up Soulmates by Holly Byrne. This was in the bag, and it's pretty chunky. Yeah, it's an arc, so the final book is like a little different maybe, but still, I got the idea. I didn't really like this book, and it was just, you see, it was a time commitment, and it wasn't really worth it. It's about these two kids. The girl suffers from really bad panic attacks, and the guy is like, you know, a rock star, and he presumably has depression, and they're actually soulmates. They fall in love, and then obviously the world sort of has to end if they do get together or some stuff, and it's just, the premise is really cringeworthy for me. And the book wasn't that bad, because the main character is so cynical and ironic, and that made me love her a lot, because I can relate to that, in case that isn't obvious. But then she just sort of became a cliche, and she admits that, but it's still, didn't like it. I didn't like the characters too much once they did get together, and they made some really stupid mistakes, and just, I don't know. I think the author was trying to achieve some really good things, but it didn't really end up that way. Just, I don't know, I think I gave it like 3 out of 5 stars maybe, so not the worst. Clearly not the best, but you know. And I finished the month by rereading Foster by Claire Keegan. I had to reread this for school, and it was just it was pretty much the same as it was first time around. I didn't hate it. I read it in a day because I didn't have to read it every day for extra English class. So yeah, I read it in one sitting, which was fine. But it was still, it's tiny. How is this a book? This is like a novella. It isn't even that. It's like 80 pages long. It's just, the story is alright. The characters are alright. It's nothing life-altering. Looks like I just really want books to change my life forever somehow. And yeah. So, that was it. Yeah, that was February for me. Plus a lot of How to Get Away with Murder, Criminal Minds, and just fangirling over The Flash and The 100 and Agent Carter and all the other TV shows, but those three are just my life. And yeah, it was exciting. I'm really excited for March and what's going to happen. And yeah, I don't know. Please share your thoughts down below if you've read any of these books or want to read them but aren't sure, or just want to talk about any books, or just maybe the books you read this month, or I don't know. Let's pretend we're friends. Alright, I'm going to see you later, I guess. Bye!